Welcome back to the channel. In today's video, we're going to finally start the transformation on the 350 SXF. Hopefully, because we have a little, I guess, we'll call it help today. We've got Ella out here with us playing in the water. So she wanted the hose, got the hose, didn't want the inflatable pool, so we're just, flooding the street, and we're swimming in the street. Let's start by opening the packages that we got in the last video and see what we got. All right, we're ready to start the tear down on the SXF. Get these new plastics on, get the DKR graphics on. Ella said she's gonna help me, so she's got her little 8mm wrench, and yeah, start putting the bike back together. The orange is done. It looks so weird without any graphics. I'm not a fan of one uniform color, but with the kit we have going on, it just made sense. Graphics on the 350 SXF are officially done. I did not film it because it was really hard. It took me a lot of time. I ended up buying a cordless heat gun because my corded heat gun went out before we moved down here, and I never bought another one. So I was like, oh, I'll just buy a cordless one. I've got batteries for all my other tools. It'll be cool. No, not really. That thing sucked batteries like crazy. I probably went through 4 or 5 charged batteries to get it done. So long story short, it took me a long time. It ended up taking me through the night, and I just was really frustrated. So I didn't film it because I am a perfectionist, and I like the graphics to be lined up very straight. So did my best. I'm not a professional graphic installer, but it turned out really good. Shout out to Colt Kinsler and DKR Graphics for getting this kit done. It came out really well. The cut and finish, really good. Like I said, I'm pretty OCD about the fit. I mean, the lines on this it just fell perfectly in place. Heat gun makes it really easy, but very symmetrical. Again, just really happy with how these line up and how they turned out. So this graphics kit is essentially just a factory replica of the Red Bull 250 graphics. So yeah, there she is. In the morning, we're gonna head to Croom, and we're gonna get our first ride on the SXF. I'm really excited. I've got a friend coming with me. He's never rode off-road before, ridden street his whole life. So we're gonna bring the SXF and the 150. We're gonna let him ride the 150. We're gonna do some trail riding, take it pretty easy. I'll probably go out for a couple laps of my own and really try to open it up and see what it can do. We have one more thing we have to do to the bike before it's fully ready. We have our most recent Spyke's delivery, where we have our new WP rear suspension, because let's face it, stock bikes, factory bikes are sprung for 175-pound riders, and I'm not 175 pounds. So yeah, so we've got suspension sprung for me. We've got 2 here because we're going to do the SXF and the XCF. Again, don't ride that bike. And this bike's already done. All the suspension on this is done for me. So yeah, we just got to take the linkage off these bikes, which is really easy. It's probably about 20 minutes to do. and then pop the spring off, put the new spring on, and we'll be ready to go. We got the suspension changed out, got the new rear spring in there. We've got our sag tool so we can check sag. I put the spring just back to the same count of threads that the stock spring was on. And other than that, we're ready to go. Bike's looking really good. I'm excited to test it out. always, Croom did not disappoint. It is absolutely my favorite place to ride. Wish I could go every day, but if we can at least go once a week, that'll do. So first ride on the 2023 350 SXF. It was really good. Honestly, a lot better than I expected. I was a little nervous about the stiffer suspension on the SXF versus the XCF, but as of right now, and granted I've only put about 1.5 hours on each of these bikes now, I lean a little bit towards the SXF being my favorite. I say that because Croom is cut like a motocross track. It's really rough, it's really whooped out, there's a lot of rollers in the trails, and that stiffer suspension just performs really well. The only downside, at least, well, maybe not downside, but the only thing I need to work on is anticipation of how this bike is going to react. What I mean by that is, we had a little bit of an incident. I'll go ahead and play that clip now. Yeah, so as you can probably see in the video, right, there's a massive tree root running across that trail. And had I been on the XCF or even especially the XCW, like I know how those bikes are going to react. It's going to absorb and go right over. The SXF, a little bit too comfortable. So I hit that tree root with that real stiff suspension, and instead of absorbing it, it just kicked me straight to the right. Dabbed with my right foot, tried to course correct, ended up overcorrecting, and then it swapped me back and forth, and it just booted me right into a tree. And I essentially took that entire impact on my right knee, so my knee was pretty wrecked. Was worried that I maybe had some LCL damage, but went to the doctor, had some x-rays, had some scans done, and luckily no fluid in my knee, no surgery needed. I have had meniscus injuries in this knee, so I was pretty worried. I really couldn't walk for a couple days, but almost a week later, feeling a lot better now, and I'm ready to go back to Croom. So the plan is to go out this weekend, and we're gonna take both these bikes. I'm gonna take the XCF and the SXF, especially now that I have the XCF all ready to go. So the difference between when I rode it the first time and now, which is what might sway my favoritism back, is I didn't have the rear suspension swapped out for me. So now I have the spring on there for me. I dropped the forks all the way down the triple clamp. That makes a massive difference when you're riding in sand. In the Midwest, you typically, well, maybe not you, but I have seen and I have typically ran forks about to the second line up in the triple clamp. Out here in the sand, down here in the Southeast, no, I mean, I'm literally running my forks flush into the triple clamp. Just making that front of the bike a little bit longer, it makes all the difference in the world. The front end tracks a lot better, doesn't wash out, because that's what was happening on this bike when I took it out, just the way that I had gotten it. So looking forward to another great weekend of riding. And yeah, we're gonna put these two head to head and we're gonna see what happens. Thanks for watching today's video. If you liked it, if you enjoyed, please smash that like button, subscribe, and stay tuned because we're gonna have more content coming. As always, check out that link in the description below for Spyke's Racer HQ. Call the guys up at Spyke's for all of your dirt bike and your street motorcycle needs. They'll take care of you and hook you up. Have a happy new year, and we'll see you in the next one.